welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa. For those of you who are new here, I am the founder of Noah Social, a boutique social media marketing agency located in Oklahoma, but servicing brands around the world. And today I have a topic for you guys that I truly am so passionate about. Because I think it's really overlooked, especially with brands and with businesses. However, I think it is an integral part of a social media strategy. And it is the key to increasing your engagement in 2023 and 2024. I promise you, especially as a brand. And there's so many reasons why, and we're gonna dive into it. But I just wanted to set the scene and explain to you why I wanted to have this conversation. The amount of businesses and brands and successful marketing people who have asked me to remove outbound engagement from a social media strategy to save money is insane to me. I cannot believe how many people don't understand the value of, the value of being social on social media. You would think that this wouldn't be so hard to wrap your head around, but for so many people it is, especially businesses, and especially those small to medium-sized businesses. I see a lot of global brands and big brands catching on to this, but if you are a small business owner or a medium-sized business owner or marketing director, I'm talking to you. Do not neglect this. I know that it takes time. I know that it seems like you don't see the results right away from this. It takes consistency, but that's really everything with organic social media. It takes testing and being consistent and being authentic and talking to the right people. It takes a lot, and this is just one very specific important piece that we're gonna dive in today. So without further ado, let's get started on why outbound engagement should be a part of your social media strategy. So it's obviously important that I explain what outbound engagement is if you don't know already. You probably know what I'm talking about. You might just call it something different, but outbound engagement, it's basically actively reaching out to your target audience in a few different ways. But what it isn't is responding to people who are already commenting on your posts or already DMing you. It's not reaching out to your current audience, at least in my world. Outbound engagement is not reaching out to the people that already follow you and already are loyal to your brand. That's called inbound engagement, okay? By the way, inbound engagement is responding to people who are reaching out and engaging to you. What outbound engagement is actively going out and seeking where your target audience might live, what accounts they might be following, what hashtags they might be searching or keywords. It's going where they are and communicating with them and interacting with them. Maybe you're not interacting with specifically their account, but you're interacting with accounts that they see or that they frequent often, and it's looking real and relatable and authentic and fun and personable to those people in anticipation that they will see your brand, be like, they seem cool, they seem like something I'd be interested in, let's click on their profile. And the rest is history, right? They decide they love your product and they decide to follow you and purchase from you. Okay, next, let's talk about the benefits of outbound engagement. Number one, you have an opportunity to reach markets and to reach a target audience and to reach specific people who would have never known you existed if you had not started doing an outbound engagement strategy. This is the most obvious benefit, I feel like, but it would be crazy if I didn't mention it. Outbound engagement puts you and your name and your logo and your brand in front of people who would have never known you existed otherwise. Number two, outbound engagement gives you this golden opportunity to seem like a real and authentic person, if you will, to your target audience. Sometimes brands and businesses don't get a lot of love on social media because social media is all about being authentic these days. It's all about being personal and real, if you will. We've taken all the glitz and glamour out of social, and I love it in the last year. But it kind of makes it makes it a little harder for brands to get engagement on social because they're not a person. However, and I talk about this a lot, you can totally make a persona for your brand. And I will definitely be talking about that in a future video. But for now, this is a first step to making your brand into a person or into that persona. It gives you this, it gives people who follow you or don't follow you yet, but might follow you, this subconscious psychological feeling that you're real and that they can relate to you and that there's something that they like about you, they're attracted to you, they're drawn to you. And this can all be done with outbound engagement. It's all about deciding how you want to sound, what's your brand's tone of voice, and then going out there and just engaging with other accounts. Maybe it's competitors, maybe it's your actual target audience, someone that is an exact person you would want to follow you. Maybe it's influencers within your niche. The list goes on and on. The third benefit of having an outbound engagement strategy, that's a tongue twister, outbound engagement strategy. The third benefit of having an outbound engagement strategy is it gives you a competitive edge, because I'm telling you, there are so many, like I said, small to medium-sized businesses that are not doing this. They post 1 to 3 times a week on Instagram, if they do that, and that's where they stop. They literally just push their product and don't care what happens after that. And then they wonder, why don't I have any engagement? Why is nobody following me? Well, it's because you're not giving anything. News flash. News flash. You're not giving anything. And in this day and age, we see ads literally thousands of times a day. Someone's trying to sell us something. So it's so refreshing as a consumer to see a brand who we obviously know their end goal is to make sales, but if they can show a little bit of personality and a little bit of authenticity and show that they genuinely care about the consumer, there is this beautiful and magical thing that happens where a loyalty starts to be formed without this car driving by. Anyway, a loyalty starts to be formed without them even realizing it, but they start to almost look at you as a friend, which to me is way more valuable than almost anything in the world as a brand. If followers and your community start to look at you as someone that they can trust, as someone that they're loyal to, as someone that they're friends with, there's a few brands I can tell you, I feel like I am friends with them and they aren't even a real human. They are a brand. But because those brands have formed such a great tone of voice and brand persona, I feel like I know them. It's weird, but it's true. Next, I want to talk about some common mistakes that I see some brands doing if they try to implement an outbound engagement strategy. Number one is failing to build in that brand persona. Like I said, if you just kind of mass comment on a bunch of posts with emojis and smiley faces and a few short words, and you don't even read the caption, you're just kind of responding to the image, that is I see that all the time. Someone is talking about, I don't know, something really sad that happened in their life, but they're posting a memory photo, and then a brand goes in and is beautiful picture or something. I don't know, you look so happy or something like that. They didn't even read the caption because the person was saying, I used to be happy when this photo was taken, but the situation has changed now. I've seen that a million times, and it actually is the worst thing ever. So generic, one size fits all messages, copy and paste, almost spammy messages, that does not work. You have to genuinely invest your time and your energy and set aside time every day or every couple of days to truly go find the people you want to interact with and write genuine responses. Don't just like the post, like it and comment and like, I don't know, share it to your story or something if it's really good. That's another tip. Go to their stories and engage with their engagement stickers. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Just be genuine and be real. Don't just do it because like, oh, Alyssa said this is a good tactic. I want to get through this as fast as possible. Not the right move, okay? That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is using outbound engagement as another avenue to promote your product or service. Please, 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 please don't do the work to be like, go and research who you want to start engaging with and the accounts you want to start doing your outbound engagement strategy with, and then just go and talk about yourself or your product or service on other people's pages. It's like the rudest thing ever. It's like, well, honestly, it's kind of like being a door-to-door salesman and just showing up unannounced. People don't love that approach. People aren't going to trust you. In fact, they're going to put their walls up. Like we do when a door-to-door salesman comes by, they're going to look at their Ring camera, see that they're trying to sell something, and pretend they're not home, okay? That's what they are going to do to you. So just be real, be genuine. Tell them, you know, why, give a real genuine thought on whatever it is they're talking about. And eventually they will follow you and they will understand what it is that you sell and what you offer, and they'll be excited to work with you because again, you've formed that bond, that subconscious loyalty and friendship with your community. The third mistake I often see businesses make is not being consistent with their outbound engagement strategy. Listen, this is a piece of an overall social media strategy that doesn't work overnight. You have to be consistent. You have to have a strategy in place for your outbound engagement strategy, not your overarching social media strategy, but even specifically for your outbound engagement strategy. You have to know how you're going to find accounts, what types of accounts you want to go comment on, for how long. You have to be strategic. You don't want to do it, you know, post on too many photos or videos, because then the algorithms can start to flag you as being spammy, and that's really bad too. It's all just about putting in place this reminder to go be social on social media, right? It's all about doing it because you really do care about your audience, but you want to do it in the most effective way possible. That's why you build an outbound engagement strategy. But I notice a lot of businesses just hop on and they go to their explore page and they start engaging and they don't see results, and so therefore they stop doing it altogether within like a week. I see that often, but I promise you, if you are consistent and you really go after strategically specific profiles to try to find your target audience, it is fruitful. You just have to put in the time, the energy, and the work. So what does an outbound engagement strategy look like? Well, for my team, it's different for each and every client that walks into my virtual doors, because each and every client has a different target audience and a different like dream customer or dream client of their own. And all of their brand tone of voices are completely different too. So it really depends on you. But I'm gonna give you a few tips on some ways you can start to brainstorm what your outbound engagement strategy could look like. The first thing is to really know who you want to reach. Don't just say, I want to reach women in their 20s who live in the United States. That's too broad. They're all over the internet. You'll never, you can't really draft and communicate in a very specific and real and like one-to-one way with a broad brand, like targeted audience like that. So what I would encourage you to do is to drill down further. Okay, a female in her 20s living in the US, what is that female interested in? Did they go to college? Are they, do they work in a corporate setting, or are they more of a freelancer or work for themselves type of person? Does this person shop frugally, or do they, do they spend their money on the things that they love? You get specific, and once you get specific, you're able to figure out where they spend their time on the internet. Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on YouTube? Or all of the above? You can also figure out what brands they might like. For example, if you're looking for a woman in her 20s who shops frugally, but also kind of cares about their health and whatever, maybe you could follow or go and engage on like Trader Joe's website, or like affordable, like HelloFresh, right? You could go engage on HelloFresh's Instagram or Trader Joe's Instagram, or accounts like influencers that promote those types of businesses, and you could go engage on the influencers pages. So you got to just think of it from the point of view of your dream customer or your dream client. So you got to get really, really specific with who they are and what they do on social media, where they hang out, and who they might be following. The next thing you want to think about is how you're going to engage. So once you have the list of like keywords and hashtags and accounts that you want to go and engage with, you're then going to decide how you want to engage. You can comment on reels, you can comment on posts, you can like posts, and you can share posts to your own brand's story if it aligns with your brand. All of that being said, outbound engagement is crucial to your social media strategy for so many reasons. I would implore you to start to implement or build an outbound engagement strategy. If you're not already doing it, I promise you, you will see results. No matter what platform you're targeting, no matter what audience you're targeting, you are going to see results, and it's going to be worth the time that you invest. If you don't have the time, we would love to help you here at Noah Social. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I gotta be honest, this was my very first YouTube video ever. I manage social media accounts, but for the first time ever, I'm actually putting my brand and myself out there. So thank you for watching. Promise these will only get better with time, and I will catch you next time.